What if everything you believed about a spiritual community, a place promising enlightenment, universality, what if it all turned out to be just a meticulously constructed facade, something designed maybe to hide shocking secrets and, well, inflict profound suffering? Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your most compelling sources and together we unearth the knowledge, the insights, and maybe those unexpected aha moments, just trying to help you understand the world a little better.
And today we're plunging into a really complex and, frankly, disturbing case. Our deep dive is built from this fascinating mix of materials. We've got investigative notes revealing blog posts, personal emails, detailed interviews, and they all revolve around one group, the Universal Humanitarian Church, or UHC.
Right. And your mission for us for this deep dive is to help understand the UHC's core beliefs, but also the really disturbing allegations surrounding it and the very real human toll it's taken on individuals, on families. We're going to collectively unpack the controversy, try to expose the hidden practices, and explore the chilling truth behind its charismatic leaders.
What's particularly striking about the sources here, I think, is how the narrative keeps shifting. We start with these external accusations, skepticism, but then we move into this sort of internal unraveling. And that reveals a deeply ingrained pattern of manipulation, abuse, and a central mystery that has actually haunted families for decades.
It really sounds like a journey from a public face to some hidden horror.
Exactly.
So let's start by looking at the UHC itself. Because, on the surface, it presents as this incredibly progressive, inclusive religion. We even have a celebrity supporter, Noli Seymour, describing it as the most progressive religion of all time. She champions their work, helping the homeless, giving holidays for carers. According to her, it's all about a search for oneness and wholeness, integrating like fragments of truth in all religions.
It sounds beautiful, doesn't it?
It does.
And she claims people often join out of curiosity and, never leave, which... Even that statement, it holds a kind of hidden irony when you dig deeper. Indeed, that initial picture is precisely what the UHC wants to project. But your sources, they immediately flag a very different perspective. The UHC strongly denies being a cult. They deny that its members are brainwashed. They insist everyone joins and leaves of their own free will.
Right, the standard denial.
Exactly. But this assertion, it contrasts sharply with early blog posts we found, like one called The Drowned Prophet from a Kevin Pirbright back in 2013. He provocatively states, and I'm quoting here, "Doubtless there was an initial desire on the part of Mazu Weiss to keep her dead daughter Dayu Weiss alive in some sense. But she milks and exploits her association with the drowned prophet at every available opportunity."
Wow, that's a powerful accusation right at the beginning. So at the very heart of the UHC's spiritual doctrine is this figure, the drowned prophet, Dayu Weiss. Supposedly drowned in 1995, she was 7 years old.
Just 7.
And Pirbright's blog post is audacious. He suggests that while all prophets are theoretically equal, one is far more equal than others. And he boldly asks what made a drowned 7-year-old deserving of prophet status.
It's a fair question.
He even points out a truly strange and, frankly, unsettling coincidence. Jonathan Weiss's first wife also drowned off Crummer Beach. The exact same location.
Yeah.
This is where you start to feel the first cracks in that pristine facade, right?
Absolutely. And that coincidence, it's a crucial detail. It only grows in significance as we look further. Kevin Pirbright, through his blogging, he quickly became a major thorn in the UHC's side.
You can imagine.
We see emails from him, March 2013, to Sir Colin Idensor, who's a prominent lawyer. Pirbright's desperately seeking legal help. He just received a lawyer's letter from the UHC ordering him to take down his blog. But Pirbright wasn't backing down. He wanted the UHC to get into court because he felt, he said he was doing this for all the brainwash, including his own son, Will.
His son was inside.
Deep inside the church, yes. This isn't just some external critic. This is a father fighting for his child, very publicly.
That personal connection, fighting for his son. Wow. It adds a whole other layer to his bravery. But this is where the story takes an even darker turn, isn't it?
It does. Sir Colin later tells the investigators that Pirbright was found dead. Shot.
Shot. Not an accident.
No. The UHC lawyers apparently tried to imply it was a drug-related hit, but Sir Colin refutes that completely. He emphasizes that the UHC, with their, expensive lawyers, are expert at shutting down criticism. They had already forced him to take down every serious allegation he made on his blog.
So they were already silencing him legally.
Exactly. Which tells us a lot about the UHC's power and their willingness to use it aggressively to control their narrative.
And what's particularly chilling, and maybe reveals a deeper, more sinister cover-up, are the details from Pirbright's bedsit after his death.
Yes, that's deeply unsettling. Investigators found that someone's literally gouged some of the writing off the wall, but they didn't take it all.
Gouged it off.
Physically removed it. Only the word pigs remained.
Pigs.
Yeah. This isn't just suppressing criticism through legal threats anymore. It's an act of physical intimidation, erasure. It hints at a connection to the church's inner, disturbing practices, which we will learn more about.
Wow.
The fact that someone went to such lengths suggests there was much more at stake than just public image.
The word pigs scratched out, left as a chilling clue.
Yeah.
And really makes you wonder about the depths of this group. And it's this very pattern, isn't it? Manipulation, devastating impact on families. That brings us to our next key source. Sir Colin Edensor himself.
Right.
He became a client because his own son, Will, joined the UHC back in 2012. He'd been there nearly 4 years. Spent most of that time at a place called Chapman Farm, which we learn is the UHC's founding site and ominously a re-indoctrination center.
Re-indoctrination, that terminology tells you a lot.
It does. Sir Colin describes his son as having thrown away his university career. And what makes this even more heartbreaking, Will's mother had recently passed away.
Oh.
And tragically, Will wasn't even aware. Because of his isolation within the church.
Yeah.
It just speaks volumes about the UHC's ability to sever even the deepest family bonds.
It really does. Chapman Farm, therefore, isn't just some simple retreat or spiritual center. It's a foundational site, steeped in the UHC's mythology. It's described as a place with a lot of hard labor. And it's where recruits who don't sort of progress to running seminars and prayer meetings usually remain. Stuck, almost.
And it's also where the 5 UHC prophets are buried.
Yeah.
Right? Including D.U. Waste, the drowned prophet.
Exactly. Which adds this potent, almost sacred layer to its importance within the church's doctrine. This combination, physical isolation, hard labor, spiritual significance, makes it a highly effective environment for control and indoctrination.
Okay, so with the stakes this high, our investigators, Strike and Robin, they decide on a bold move, an incredibly dangerous move. Robin will go undercover at Chapman Farm.
A huge risk.
Huge. But clearly, it's the only way to get eyes on the inside and really understand the daily life, the indoctrination, the true nature of what's happening within the UHC. So, what does Robin discover when she's in there?
Well, once inside, Robin experiences the full, unfiltered force of UHC doctrine, and it's deeply disturbing. The church systematically dismantles traditional social structures. For instance, normal family relationships or monogamous sexual relationships are a form of materialist possession.
Possession, like owning something.
Exactly. That's the framing. Instead, members are encouraged to be spirit bonded to everyone inside the church and have sex with anyone who wants it as a way of enhancing spiritual connections.
Wow. That's
It's a classic tactic, isn't it? Breaking down personal identity, loyalty to family, replacing it with loyalty to the group. But it's starkly contrasted with their teaching that rape was different, a violent form of materialist possession.
So they make a distinction there.
A distinction that really reveals their twisted morality and the selected application of their own rules.
That's a chilling insight into how they twist intimacy, relationships, all for control. And at the center of this twisted doctrine is D.U. Waste, the drowned prophet.
Always day you.
Robin sees firsthand how Jonathan and Mazu, her parents, have essentially turned her into a kind of deity. They claim she said spiritually insightful things that became church doctrine. They even go so far as to suggest her death was somehow holy.
Holy, a drowning.
Yeah. Her sister Becca even claimed D.U. had the power of invisibility.
Okay.
She's presented as the most important prophet who could bless you, but she'd curse you if you strayed.
Ah, the fear element.
Exactly. This isn't just veneration. It's the creation of a powerful, fear-inducing myth designed to ensure obedience and reinforce the authority of her parents as the conduits to her power.
And the indoctrination is relentless. It's a multi-pronged assault on individual autonomy. Robin observes rote learning of church dogma, almost childlike coloring in, constant chanting, perpetual supervision.
Coloring in, like for children.
Apparently. And new recruits face relentless questioning, a rota of questions from established members. This intense, repetitive cycle is designed to dismantle critical thinking identity, replacing it all with the church's narrative.
And there's a medical aspect, too.
Yeah, we also see Dr. Zhu, a UHC principal, conducting these so-called medical interviews. He'd ask about anxiety, self-esteem, sexual history, claiming true healing is only possible from the spirit.
Okay.
And here's where he twists the concept. He asserted that unnatural things in the body, including condoms, disrupt that vital energy from traditional Chinese medicine.
So using that to control sexual behavior.
Precisely. Twisting it to fit their doctrine, further controlling members' bodies and choices.
And the control extends to chilling punishments, right?
Yeah.
Robin herself experienced something called the box.
Yes, a locked wooden box in the basement. For when you've been bad.
Just a box.
She describes dreadful hours in it, fearing worse if she broke rules. This isn't just a deterrent, it's psychological torture, isolating people, instilling profound fear. And it's where Emily Pirbright, Kevin's sister, is later found by police, severely dehydrated and traumatized.
Oh my God. So this isn't some benign spiritual community playing games.
No, not at all. It's a place where people are terrorized into submission.
And the depth of the UHC's control and its depravity. It gets even worse with the treatment of children, doesn't it?
It does. Perhaps the most horrific discovery Robin makes is that of a dying child named Jacob.
Dying.
Slowly starving in a locked room. She realizes with horrifying clarity that she's being made complicit in Jacob's fate.
How?
Because his parents, Louise and Jiang, two other members, are also present. This deliberate neglect, sanctioned by the church, forces members into this shared culpability, tightening the bonds of fear and silence within the group.
That's unbelievable. A shocking testament to how far their twisted ideology extends.
It truly is. And we also learn of more systemic, grotesque abuse.
The Polaroids.
Yeah.
From Kevin Pirbright's wall.
Exactly. Depicting naked youths in pig masks, and one specifically of Paul Draper being sodomized. Horrifying images. Abigail Weiss, Dayu's half-sister, suggested her father and Mazu didn't like gays, making such activities right out for them personally.
Kind of hypocrisy there.
Seems like it. Yet Abigail also had nightmares about hacking Dayu to pieces so the pigs could eat her more easily.
Yeah.
That imagery again.
The pigs.
And Rosie Fernsby, a former member, confirms she was made to put on a pig mask and sodomize a man with a low IQ.
Oh, God.
These rituals, often sexually abusive, involving this dehumanizing pig imagery, they appear to be a twisted form of punishment or control, especially directed at those deemed deviant by the leaders.
And there was something else even more disturbing, involving planting vegetables.
Yes. Another shocking detail that solidifies this pattern of grotesque cruelty. Louise Pirbright being forced to plant carrots on a deviate, their term for someone who strayed, who had been dug up and placed in the vegetable patch.
Dug up. A body.
That's the implication. This isn't just punishment, it's profound degradation, symbolic dehumanization. The UHC's ideology seems to allow for extreme cruelty under the guise of spiritual purity, twisting deviance into something punishable by ritualistic humiliation and terror, a complete disregard for human dignity.
These horrifying revelations.
Yeah.
They make you question everything. And it brings us back, doesn't it, to the central mystery. Dayu's death, the foundation of their mythology.
Exactly.
The initial claims around her drowning are dramatically challenged by new information.
Right. We learned from Colonel Graves, the father of Alexander Alley Graves, that Alley suffered from manic depression, joined the UHC, and later died by suicide while being kidnapped by his family in a desperate attempt to deprogram him.
Another tragedy linked to the church.
But crucially, Alley left everything to Dayu in his will.
To Dayu, the dead prophet.
Yes. A detail that suggests Mazu, Dayu's mother, already expected him to die young.
Implying foresight or
Now,
manipulation.
It certainly implies a potential manipulation of vulnerable individuals like Alley, perhaps for the church's financial gain.
Okay, so this detail about Allie's will, combined with the earlier coincidence of two drownings in the same place, this leads Strike, the investigator, to question the whole drowning story, doesn't it?
It does. He considers the two drownings in exactly the same place, involving people connected to the Weiss family. It's too significant, too convenient a coincidence. He proposes a radical theory. Dayu was either murdered or she's still alive.
Still alive.
What if, he suggests, a different child drowned in her place, forming the basis of this entire elaborate mythology? It's a bold hypothesis, but the evidence starts to pile up.
Okay, what evidence supports that?
Well, it's unsettling. Dayu was reportedly seen leaving on the truck with Shri by early duty staff.
Shri Gittins, the girl supposedly with her at the beach.
The same one. Even though Dayu supposedly didn't have permission to leave Chapman Farm that day, and she was dressed in a distinctive white dress unlike any other at the farm.
Making her easily identifiable, maybe. Or someone else in that dress.
Possibly. And the only outside witness to the supposed drowning. An elderly woman who saw them from a distance and didn't know Dayu from Adam anyway, meaning she couldn't actually identify the child involved.
So no reliable witness confirming it was Dayu who drowned.
Exactly. These details cast a huge shadow of doubt over the official narrative of a simple, tragic drowning.
And the truth starts to unravel dramatically then.
It does. Carrie Curtis Woods, who was formerly Sherry Gittens, the girl who supposedly took Dayu to the beach.
Yes.
She later confesses to her boyfriend, Isaac Mills. She tells him, Carrie faked the drowning. Dayu was never on the beach.
A direct confession.
A direct confession of a staged event. She also revealed, with haunting regret, I shouldn't have agreed. I swear I never when I was young. I knew it was wrong.
Oh, wow.
Tragically, Carrie died by suicide after being questioned by Strike. Clearly terrified of what further truths would be revealed if she cooperated. Her fear, her death. They speak volumes about the UHC's enduring power and the weight of that secret.
And Carrie wasn't the only one burdened by this secret, was she? There was someone else. Jordan Reaney.
Yes, Jordan Reaney. He was supposed to be on the vegetable run with Cherie and Dayu that day, but overslept. He also attempts suicide after being questioned by Strike.
Another one.
He told Strike with this raw bitterness about Dayu. Nobody fucking liked her. Fucking spoiled, fucking rotten.
Which gives us a crucial insight, doesn't it, into the internal dynamics.
Yeah.
Even within the UHC, the drowned prophet wasn't universally beloved by her peers.
Exactly. It further erodes the myth of her saintly nature. These attempted suicides, they highlight the profound psychological weight of carrying such a terrible secret. And the fear, maybe, of what the church might do if it came out.
And the most disturbing, undeniable piece of evidence comes from the police raid on Chapman Farm itself.
Yes, the physical evidence. A child's thigh bone is dug up near some rotting wooden posts.
There's a child's bone found on the farm,
confirming that something horrific happened there. This corroborates the dark theories about Dayu's true fate, or at the very least confirms that a child died and was buried covertly on the property, directly contradicting the narrative of a drowning at sea.
It just shatters any remaining pretense of the UHC being a benign spiritual institution.
Completely.
So what does this all mean for the wider world? Beyond Chapman Farm's walls, does the UHC's influence just stop there?
Apparently not. Even after this initial unraveling, they maintain surveillance on ex-members,
Still watching them.
making warning phone calls to those about to be interviewed by investigators. They even go so far as to make over Strike's Wikipedia page.
Really? Editing his Wikipedia.
Demonstrating their reach, their continued efforts to control information, silence potential threats. It reveals a highly organized, ruthless entity capable of operating effectively in the digital age to protect its image.
And despite the police raid rescuing Emily from the box, all the evidence mounting, some members, like Becca Purebright, remain devoted.
Yes, unshaken in her belief, which highlights the incredible psychological grip the UHC has. Becca herself, remember, is Dayu's half-sister. She was fast-tracked to the heights of the church, even becoming a spirit wife to Jonathan Wace, Dayu's father.
A spirit wife, what does that mean?
Well, interestingly, she was reportedly a virgin, which hints at a profoundly manipulative form of control. Using her status, her proximity to the prophet's father as leverage, rather than any genuine spiritual or intimate connection.
And her sister Emily accused her of lying?
Yes, Emily accused Becca of lying about Dayu's drowning, showing the deep divisions, but also the powerful hold the manufactured narrative still has on some.
The long-lasting damage is truly evident in figures like Will Edensor, Sir Colin's son. Despite escaping Chapman Farm, being reunited with his daughter, Sally, who is called King inside, he remains profoundly affected.
How so?
He's described as institutionalized and riddled with guilt, even expressing a desire to go to jail for things he did within the church. And heartbreakingly, he still believes in the drowned prophet's curses. It shows the deep psychological grip the UHC maintains over its victims, even after they're physically free.
And this profound psychological impact isn't just limited to long-term members either. Robin herself, after her undercover operation, she continues to have nightmares, struggling to process the horrors she witnessed inside Chapman Farm.
Even the investigator is scarred by it.
Her experience just underscores the deep psychological scars the UHC inflicts, regardless of the time spent within its confines. It's a reminder that exposing these truths comes at a significant personal cost.
So this deep dive has revealed a truly, truly disturbing picture. A spiritual movement that promised oneness and wholeness, enlightenment, universality. But what it delivered was isolation, systemic abuse, and even death. The universal humanitarian church manipulated beliefs, ruthlessly exploited vulnerabilities, and maintained control through this terrifying combination of fear, psychological conditioning, and violence, all built on a foundation of deceit.
And the core mystery of Dayuwais, the drowned prophet. It serves as such a powerful symbol of this deception, from her mythologized drowning used to elevate her parents and control followers, to the discovery of child remains, the chilling confessions. The layers of lies have been peeled back. What we uncover is a manufactured deity built on tragedy and deceit, underpinning an entire structure of control.
This whole case, it forces us to confront some really uncomfortable questions, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
About the very nature of belief, the insidious power of charismatic leaders, and how easily truth can be distorted when people are desperate for answers, for belonging, or just for something to fill a void in their lives.
Absolutely. So maybe we leave you, the listener, with this provocative thought. In a world where information is so abundant but discernment feels increasingly scarce, how do we, as individuals, sharpen our critical faculties? How do we distinguish between a genuine search for spiritual truth and a dangerous narrative designed purely for control?
And what responsibilities do we have as a society?
Yeah, to question, to protect, and ultimately to ensure that no one becomes a prophet or a victim at the cost of human dignity and life itself.